So there goes the seed. Wheat, not going to be using that this year. Weather, not getting potatoes that we had in some of the ground out in time, and all that goes along with that. So yeah, we're not going to plant this time of the year because the crows, one, the crows love the most of it, two, it's too wet anyway. Even if it did dry up, it's just too late. It's just too late. So we'll see. We have a different plan for the ground that we intended to put the wheat into, which we'll talk more about that early next year when it comes closer to the time. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of spring cleaning. We've baler out, a couple of tractors out, and we are going to try and straighten out the shed and get the machinery in, because at this stage it ain't going to be needed, and we just want to get any of the things that's outside into position where they should be. Sprayer has to come out of there. The plough is over in one of the other sheds, so it is, the board is actually greased on it and all, so it's just a matter of taking it over and we'll put it into the corner. It usually goes in the corner where the sprayer is. The drill, it'll be hooked on. It is cleaned out. It hasn't been washed down, it has been cleaned down, so a lot of the old clay that was on it is all off it, but it has to be, get a quick bit of a hose down, and we'll put it in alongside the plough. Silage harvest is in the corner around the back. It has to be just straightened around a wee bit, and yeah, just a few bits of straightening out to be done. And we want to get the mounted mower. The mounted mower is inside. The trail mower is sitting outside. It has to be washed down, and it has to go in here as well. So yeah, a few jobs to be done. We'll get them done over the next number of days, so we'll make a start on those now. Also want to clean the tractors down. Like I said, the 6.9 hasn't been cleaned down since it was ploughing. The 215 has got a quick wash at one stage, but field work for it now is finished for the year as well. It's just going to be mostly drawn cattle feed and that, so we can get it cleaned down as well. So yeah, a few jobs to be done on that front, and then later in the, I suppose maybe in a couple of weeks before Christmas, we'll give the yard a wash down as well. So there's plenty of different bits of jobs going on, as well as feeding cattle and a few other things to be done. We've some cattle to take out and clip backs on as well, so there's, and that, I think we're doing that early next week. So yeah, there's plenty to be done. There's lots going on. Alright, so washing has begun 2.5 hours later, and we've the 6.9 is washed down, which is good to see. It didn't just wash the centre of the tyres there, but that'll clean it itself. It washed everything else. Yeah, so that's done. It needs a sponging as well, which I'll do at the very end, and I've washed the drill down too. Now there is a wee bit of cleaning more to be done around the back end, and when everything's hooked off, I'll get that sorted. It's not the end of the world. I might give it a wee polish, because it's not going to be doing much now over the winter. So it's time consuming, 2.5 hours to wash them too, and as I say, we still have silage harvest is washed, baler has to be washed, mower has to be washed, new tractor washed, teleporter needs washed. Let's do the teleporter. Visibility is a bit of a problem of it at the minute, because what happens is when it's wet and windy, like the weather we've had lately, when you're filling the feed up, a lot of the dust of the feed and meal can blow back onto the machine, and it ends up looking a bit like this. So yeah, mirrors start to get a wee bit on the dirty side as well, and when it's sunny you can't see out, so it needs washed too. 2850 needs washed. So there's a lot of machines need washed. Plough needs washed, so it's not all going to be done today. I haven't got time to do it all today. I might pull up at the baler here, so I might pull the baler up and I might wash it now as well. At least that'll be it done, and they can be parked in the shed temporarily until we have some more things washed and we can start setting stuff in where it goes. But yeah, so I haven't got time. I can spend maybe an hour at the baler just cleaning it, but I want to strip the silage pit as well. And when I'm stripping the silage pit, I'll maybe take you along and show you what the silage is like now that we're back into it a wee bit, because I said I would show it to you whenever we got that far. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. So I might take a wee bit of footage when I'm washing the baler, and we'll have a look at the silage pit then when we're stripping it. A couple of things here you might notice them on the trailer. A couple of old bits of horse-drawn equipment. There is a hunter hoe, which was actually my grandfather's, which we've just purchased back, and a turnip barrow or a cedar as well, which was my uncle's. Now my uncle John, who isn't well at the minute, he had sold these back, it's probably about 5 years ago. He sold a lot of it. He had a super collection of vintage stuff, and sold a lot of it privately, and he actually had a bit of a sale as well just to sold it. He probably knew that he wasn't well and decided to sell it, but some of the things that went were these here, and we just happened to get talking to a man who had purchased them, and he offered to sell them back at what he purchased them at. So very good of him. We took him up on the offer and purchased them back. So it's really nice of this back, the fact that it was my grandfather's, and yeah, it's back now where it belonged after being away for probably about 4 or 5 years. And this here was one that my Uncle John done up, restored, and is in excellent condition. So again, really nice to have that as well. There's also a wheelbarrow, and I'll show you the wheelbarrow. I've took it off already. It's up here in the shed. So here's the wheelbarrow. It's an old school wooden wheelbarrow. It was newly made. Look, it could be made maybe 10 or 15 years, but we purchased it back a couple of years ago at an auction, and just took the notion that we wanted to buy it. We have some old wheelbarrows like this as well, but Dad just decided he didn't want it anymore. He's going to sell it. So yeah, it's actually for sale. It's oak. A lot of it is oak, except for the top. These 3 sides is heavy marine ply, but the rest of it is all oak. And there's a rubber shoeing on the wheel rather than a steel one, so it runs really nice on the ground. But look, it's not something you'd be using very much unless for some very light work. It's more of an ornament, and it's well built. It actually was built by, it's actually made by the late Desi Morgan, who is from just south side Dundalk there, just in the town, or on the lower end of the town. He had built it himself, and was excellent at building these kind of things. He had 3 or 4 of them. After he passed away, his family sold them, so it's one of those. So built by the late Desi Morgan. But yeah, some nice features on it. You see the wheels has a nice square cutouts on it. So yeah, something that's for sale. Anyone any interest in it, hit me up in the comments and I'll give you a price on it, or hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. Alright, so we're on pit stripping duty at the minute. Just going to pull back the cover. A couple of things. Look at all the leaves and debris. There's a whole row of trees that's planted along here by a neighbour how many years ago, and they're lovely. They're really nice trees. Summertime, there's nice leaves on them, colourful, and they also protect as well from sunshine, especially if you're covering the pit here sometimes in the summertime. Nice high trees, they are blocking out the sun, and they are a great job. The downside is the leaves off them in the autumn. Place just gets destroyed in them, so you know, the sheets has to come off then and be rolled out and everything cleaned off them before they can be refolded back up for going on the pit. But yeah, the other thing too is, I don't know if you remember back on covering the pit, I said that there was some of the wall here had no plastic on it on up. Now, it was much further back up than I remembered. We have literally just found it, so there's a bit of bad the whole way along here still. Not much. In fact, a lot of the time you just pull it into the feeder with the cows, gets mixed around and they eat it anyway. So there's been very, very little bad silage. So we'll pull back the cover anyway, and you can get a look at it and just see what it's like when we get it back. Alright, so we're just finished stripping the pit. We've took it back about 3 widths of the grab, which will be enough to do probably about a week and a half or so, which will be fine. Yeah, very, very happy with the silage. The silage is top notch. The only bad, I'll show it to you, is a little bit over the far side. which I was just talking about there. Thing about it too is, which is a little bit unusual for our pits, usually our pits have more of a slope on it, but because we extended the pit and made it a bit bigger last year, we're probably, I suppose, about another foot from where we are now to the highest point. So it's nice and gradual. It was a nice gradual rise back on it, which has left it easy for stripping and doing a lot of these jobs on it, and it was easier for covering as well. But yeah, we're hoping to get all the silage used out of it before the end of the year. We'll go back into it nicely, but we're now, as I say, getting into now what will be the highest point here the whole way back. So we'll see if there's a bit of extra silage looks like there's going to be left on it. We'll just we'll advertise it and sell it off, because we do want to empty the pit fully. The other thing we want to do is, see, the tyres are on the ground. I'm going to put those tyres down the bottom of the yard, because where we extended the wall here last year, this year, was beginning earlier this year for the silage, and then the fact now that it's that bit higher, our flow here now is much lower than the wall, so we're going to raise this back, fill this back up to maybe about 6 inches from the top of the wall, for two reasons. One, give this wall strength if you were putting silage up high on it, or it just gives it a wee bit more strength. And the other thing is for a base for putting your tyres. We'd always stack our tyres, plastic bags of sand all goes in here, and it's just a wee bit too low at the minute. So yeah, that's kind of what we want to do, just get a nice level base on it. So we want to keep this empty. There is some tyres in here, but we will throw them back out before we start to backfill it. So yeah, that's just a job that has to be done. Not be backfilled for a wee while yet. Probably not be backfilled until it'll be in the springtime when things start to dry up. But it's just something that's on the cards. So tyres have to find a new home this year, and then we can take them up then, as whenever it's backfilled, we can build them back in here before the silage is cut, or just take them up when the silage goes in and we're covering the pit. We'll decide at the time. Just to show you the wee bit of bad I mentioned earlier, that's all there is. It's not very much. You can see a little bit of it just along the wall, and as I mentioned, I'm not even taking that off, I'm just putting it in. I usually leave that top row, or this corner, you leave it to one side where I know where it is, put it into the cows mix, and they eat it all up. So it's grand, works out fine. So yeah, that's it. It's a bit more respectable looking at the pit for a while. So yeah, move these tyres, find a new home for them, lift the rest of the sandbags, and it's another job done. So we're just cutting out some blocks of silage. We've got the tyres moved, they're on to their new home, and sandbags is moved as well. So all that end of it's all tidied up, and just cutting out a few blocks of silage. There's nearly enough cut out that will do for today and probably tomorrow. So I'll cut this one out and one more, and that should be enough. I'm just taking a row 2 blocks deep across the front of the pit here. But yeah, lovely smell of the silage. Smells great, looks great, lovely golden colour there. I don't know if it's showing up properly on the camera, but it is a lovely golden colour. And yeah, grand. I think this block will probably do me. Just drop it down here, and that should be 100%. So you can just see there where the blocks have been cut out, nice and golden, and it looks pretty good. So I guess that's really it for today's video. I suppose over the coming week or so, or a couple of weeks, some of the videos we're going to try and get up is, if we're doing some cattle walk, we'll have some cattle walk videos coming up, and I'll go through just what we're doing with them, and some final treatments that they have to get and what they've already got. We'll also be doing some more feeding videos and looking at the cattle and how they are getting on. And I'm still trying to do a review of the 6R215. I was going to do a review of it over the, well, I said I'd do it maybe once it reached over 12 months, and it's now over 12 months. It was 12 months like in August, so we're well past that threshold. So I might try and get a video done on that over the next few weeks as well, and yeah, do a full review of it and my thoughts on it, all aspects of it and what I think of it so far. But yeah, that's some of the videos that's coming up over the next week or two. As always, thank you very much for watching the video. If you have any questions or anything like that, drop them in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the video. It just helps to push the channel on. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. All these things all help the channel, and I'd be very grateful if you can do any of them things for me. So until next week.